So it's been a week, almost a week, of no 7-0. And this time I think it's going to stick because I have no desire to go back to having my day revolve around how many pills I have left. Yeah, it was really crazy. I was off it like for 2 months. And then I don't even know why. I was just having kind of a rough night and I had to get out of my own head for a little bit. So I thought it would be a good idea to go and just, get something to get out of my own head. I don't really do anything else like substances. I don't drink or anything. So I was like, oh, I'll just go down there and just grab something just for the night, to kind of take me out of it, take me out of a kind of mood I was in. I've been having trouble with mental health issues, my whole life. But more recently, this past year, it's been really tough. I don't know why, but I keep finding myself in these situations where it's like, I just feel like I'm going out of my mind, everybody's got this kind of thing. To varying degrees, I'm sure. But, so in one of those kind of moments where I was just like, I need to get in the penalty box of life, I went and got it. And then the following day, I didn't do anything. But then the day after that, I was like, yeah, that was good the other night. Maybe I'll just grab a couple more. And that's all it takes. And then you're right back into it. And there is a spiritual thing going on here as well. As someone pointed out in the comments, he feels like it cut him off from the oneness. And I definitely felt that too, but I think it has a lot more to do with your mind is kind of centered around pills. Like, all right, how many do I have? When can I get more? Because that's basically what happens. It's just like regular drugs. Because it is regular drugs. I mean, the feeling you get from the 7-0, if someone gave me a blind taste test, the Pepsi challenge, I don't know if I'd be able to differentiate the blue Percocets from the 7-0. In fact, sometimes I think the 7-0 is a little bit stronger, or at least more consistent, because sometimes with the blues, it's also your personal chemistry and stuff, but there would be some times when I would hook up and just feel like nothing was happening. Now there's a lot of things with that. You can get a bad batch, just like, hey little guy, little doggy's awesome, hey little man. But yeah, you can get a bad batch or something, but with this stuff, it's pretty consistent. You know what you're getting, and it's going to be the same all the time, and it is. That's why it's so, that's one of the reasons why it's so insidious. That and the fact that it's legal. So you don't have to go to some shady part of town or call someone to meet them in a park or anything like that. It's not like you have to do the handoff or none of that stuff. It's just walk in the store. Here you go. How are you? Boom. And that takes away a lot of the bullshit with buying drugs, because as I've said before, it's like sometimes when you're really into it and you're buying illegal substances, you'll end up in some real weird situations, at real weird times with really weird people, and you'll be like, how the fuck did I get here? I mean, it goes there incrementally. It goes there over time. The addiction and how you procure your drugs, it has a cumulative effect. At first, maybe it's someone just coming by your house, and then from there, it's like, I can't make it out tonight. Can you meet me over here? And if you've ever been in that situation, you know the drill. You spend a lot of your time chasing stuff, and then it's all about maintenance. Like, wow, when can I get more? Do I have money for tomorrow? It sucks. This is much easier because it's, the store's right here, right where I'm pointing. It's got that, I don't know what that black tarp is. I think they're doing some construction work there. But yeah, it's right there, and no one's just regular store hours. Price is always the same. I'm not gonna get busted for having them. It's really weird because it's a lot easier to procure, a lot more reasonable to have. So, but it gives you the same effect. So it's really a mind fuck. You know, I remember when I first started doing them, I'm like, how is this legal? You know, and I think a lot of people are asking that too now. A lot of people. And it's going to hurt Kratom because when it came out, it was marketed as a Kratom product. In fact, that's what I was told it was. And I was under the impression it was just some kind of concentrated Kratom, because the people at the store were told the same thing too. You know, they don't know. They just know what the company tells them, you know. And so when I heard, oh, he's got these new Kratom pills, Mia brought some home from the store. And she's like, yeah, try them out. I'm like, yeah, I'm not really into the Kratom pills normally. I'd rather have just a straight powder, because that way I can, you know, you can have the amount you want. The pills I never really got into the pills, so I wasn't thinking much about them. I remember opening them up and going, wow, these look like aspirin. You know, I was expecting a capsule, you know, with the Kratom in it, like Kratom pills usually have. And then I was like, well, this must be some kind of concentrated thing. Yeah, it is. It is a concentrated thing. Really concentrated. What they're doing is, as layman as I can be, well, I am a layman, so they took one element from the Kratom, one of the things that actually gets you high, and they replicated a copy of it in a lab, and then like supercharged it. So it derives from Kratom. It's a copy of something that you'll find in Kratom, but it doesn't have really anything to do with Kratom. And a lot of the early marketing and a lot of the talk and the way it was presented was Kratom, 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 Kratom. Now they're not, they don't hype the Kratom as much anymore, because it's pretty obvious it doesn't have anything to do with Kratom. It's a lot stronger than anything, you know, I'd ever had. Like I said earlier, just as much, as almost as strong as the regular opioids. It's crazy, and it's just at the store. And I noticed when I started getting into them and started buying them and started learning about them, there in the mornings there was like a growing bunch of people that would be there early. Guys that worked construction and stuff, and just regular people who were going to work or on their way to work, were all stopping in to buy them. So they started to sell really well. And this place over here were the only ones that had them, this place I just pointed to. But now, almost every place has them on the island. Any kind of head shop has them. There's one version called Pseudo, Psudo. It's short for pseudo-solitocadrine, something like that. One of those kind of words. Which is like a kind of a newer version of 7.0 that they came out with, I don't know, 5 months ago, which is even stronger. It's like a supercharge of the supercharge. It's madness. It's madness. I remember doing one. Again, Neo was buying powder Kratom at one of the other stores we buy from on the island, and she brought some home. I'm looking at it, I'm like, what is this? It's called 7.0 plus Pseudo, or Pseudo 7.0, something like that. And holy shit, yeah, if you thought 7.0 is bad, that was the kind of guy I am. I would hear someone say what I just said and be like, I have to try that. You know, I have to. If you got it, you got it. But man, it's really heavy. It's a place we didn't go to that often, though. So they don't have the pseudo over here. So thank God. Otherwise, I'd have been on that. And I imagine that's harder to get off of. But yeah, I'm gonna walk up right here a little bit. It's getting a little crowded over here. Hang on. Trying to find a place I can point the camera and not upset somebody. I just, when I come out, I gotta get my my shit straightened out, and I usually just plant it in the air to try to straighten my shit out, whatever that is. And inevitably there's always something like, what are you filming me? What? Like these spurs. But yeah, I'm actually walking to the 70 store now because we're out of white vein kratom. So before we go to our regular buyer, our regular seller, I'm just gonna get a small bag just for now. And I've been here since I stopped the 70 and no problem. I never felt the pull of the counter. I mean, it helps that I only really have enough to buy the to buy the kratom. But even still, I don't crave it or anything like that. Yeah, the same thing happened last time I quit. You know, once it's out of your system, at least with me, the desire to have it is just kind of gone. And then other things start coming back, like ways of looking at the day and being happy about other things. Like, because what happens is when you get into the 70, it's just like any other kind of drug. Your day becomes revolved around, your day starts to revolve around the 70. You know, how much do I have? How much can I afford? When can I get it? And like, excuse me, like without drugs, or at least with me anyway, whenever I'd buy more with the intent to spread it out over a couple of days or something, that never works. Instead, I just do it all or do more on that day. You know, this is how it always goes. So what I did with the 7.0 is, luckily I had the store at the end of my street. Well, luckily, it's a blessing and a curse. So I just bought what I needed. Like, I was, certain days I'd be like, all right, I wake up, I'm like, I'm just gonna go get 2. And I go get 2. Then around like, when the evening would start to fall, I'd be like, if I'm really, really fucking starting to feel a certain type of way about it, as the blacks say, I'll go get more. And I'd go buy just 2 more. And then one day it was like, all right, I got 2 and I don't need 2 more. And then I got it down to 2 a day, and then none a day. And that was it. I just did it like that. Now that I, do a lot of other stuff too. I take the kratom, not a lot, but I take the powder kratom. But I've been doing that for years. So I mean, that's some of it too. And then a lot of prayer and some magical bullshit and some other things to try to kind of heal myself and try to envision the stuff coming out, little personal things that you do. But it was a lot easier this time than it was the last time. The last time the withdrawals were really bad and really weird, and they were kind of bad and weird, but there were less of them this time. I think my body knew how to do it from the last time I got off it. And now that I'm off them, I have no desire for them. And like, right away, the day's better. It's like, oh, I don't have to worry about the pills today. It becomes a whole thing that you don't have to think about anymore. So, yeah, so far it's going good. I have no interest in going back. I still have plenty of stories about my time on them, though, which I'll share here as I go, because I think there's something valuable in learning about this stuff, and we're going to learn a lot more about it as time goes on. It's this is still new days with this stuff, But yeah, once again, I'm off it. I don't foresee myself wanting to get back on it or have any desire to get on it. So we'll see how it goes. Until that happens, go play in the school.